Tonight, new developments in a Central West End standoff between homeowners and protesters. Only News 4 is learning nearly a dozen people may now face charges for trespassing the night Mark and Patricia McCloskey pointed guns at protesters. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve Savard. Samantha has the night off. Right now, the city councilor's office is reviewing those trespassing citations. News 4's Corey Stark is in the Central West End finding out if this could have any bearing on the criminal case against the McCloskeys.
Well, Steve, the St. Louis Police Department tells me they investigated 9 instances of trespassing from that night of June 28th right here on Portland Place. And it took a little over 2 months for those citations to be issued, which a legal expert I talked to today says that's unusual. But then again, this is a very unusual trespassing case. This is what one of those 9 citations looks like. The complaint written, trespassing on private property.
You would have to assume, Corey, that the McCloskeys, maybe in conjunction with their attorney, signed affidavits or were interviewed and submitted statements to the city councilor's office through the police to proceed with these charges.
One woman, identifying herself as one of the protesters on Portland Place, sent News 4 a picture of the citation she received. We are not revealing her identity. However, another woman went public with the citation she received. Ohan Ash went on Twitter saying, quote, "I was just sent a summons to appear in court for trespassing on private property on Portland Place, aka the street Patricia and Mark McCloskey live on. I had a gun waved in my face by them, but trespassing is what matters." In an email, I asked St. Louis police how they identified the 9 people cited, who were in a crowd of hundreds, including Democratic congressional nominee Cori Bush. Police have not responded. However, I talked to Cori Bush's campaign spokesperson, who says Bush did not receive a citation. News 4 also filed a sunshine law request with city police asking for copies of the tickets. We got this back saying all summonses and citations are closed at this time. Legal expert John Ammon gives some insight into what's going on.
There's probably a lot of different interviews with people who were at the scene, and there were a lot of videos to watch. So, the city council's office has a lot of work to do. Has a lot of work to do to review this.
And Ammon says the trespassing citations alone mean very little.
So the fact that somebody stepped onto their property could technically be a trespass, but the law, as I read it, would require that trespasser also to create a threat of unlawful force for the McCloskeys to have done what they did.
And Ammon says if the city councilor's office does move forward with those charges, and if the 9 protesters are convicted in court, or if they plead guilty, then that could help the McCloskeys' criminal case. I talked with the city councilor's office. They say they're going to take the next 2 weeks to make their decision if they are going to file those charges. We're live tonight in the Central West End. Corey Stark, News 4.